Perek Elu Golin, Daf Yud sponsored for Shlema for Hadassah Bas Miriam. After the court sentenced the murderer to exile, they exposed the Kohen Gadol as a Ben Gerusha Ben Chalutza. Rav Ami Ravasi dispute whether he is comparable to a Kohen who died. As a result, the murderer is not exiled, or whether his status was nullified retroactively. The exiled murderer could never leave comparable to no acting Kohen Gadol at the time of the murder. The Gemara suggests comparing it to a Machlokas Tanoim. Rabbi Eliezer holds any service in the temple performed by a Ben Gerusha is disqualified retroactively. Rabbi Yeshua holds it is disqualified only after he was exposed. The Gemara differentiates between them. The Amoru who holds he can never leave the city of refuge recognizes the service in the temple is different because the verse states, Barech Hashem Chelo, Achalo, an unsanctified Kohen service is blessed. The other opinion holds before a Chalal is exposed, he can even release a murderer. The Mishnah stated even a general, such as Yoav, needed to lead the nation in battle, would not be permitted to leave a city of refuge. A verse states, Me'im bizbechi tichenu lamus. A murderer can be apprehended even from the holy altar. A Gemara explains it means only on its side, but not its top. Yoav made two mistakes. Number one, he assumed the law for the top included its horns. Number two, he assumed that this law applied to Mishkan Shiloh as well as to the Beis Hamikdash. Number three, he assumed it applied to a non-Kohen as well as a Kohen. Reish Lakish states the Romans made three mistakes related to cities of refuge. Number one, they mistook the city of Betzer for Batzra. Number two, they assumed it would protect their guardian angel's deliberate killing of Jews. Number three, they assumed it provided protection for angels as well as humans. A question. The Torah states, V'yashav ba v'lo b'tchuma. Our Mishnah states the refugee is protected in the tchum of the city. The answer, he is protected but not permitted to live there. Question. The laws for Levites in their cities do not permit living in the 2,000 amos surrounding the city. Why was it necessary for the Mishnah to mention the prohibition for the refugee? The answer, the Levites can live in subterranean caves, not refugees. However, refugees could be buried there, whereas Levites were buried only outside the tchum of their cities. The Gemara explains the dispute of Rabbi Yossi Haglili and Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Yossi Haglili derives it is a mitzvah for the Goel Adam to kill because the verse states, V'ratzach, not im ratzach. Rabbi Akiva disagrees. He holds the Torah would have used the term yirtzach to indicate a command to avoid any ambiguity. A Brisa mentions a third opinion. One verse states, V'ratzach goel adam es harotzeach, and one states, V'lo yamus harotzeach ad amdo lifnei ha'edel hamishpat. Only after the court sentences him may the goel adam kill him outside the tchum before Mart Zutra in the name of Rav states he is a murderer. Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yossi Haglili derive from these words a court that witnessed the murderer must be tried in another court. The Gemara reconciles two contradictory brises. One brisa states the double expression im yatso yetzeh includes exonerating the Goel Adam even if the murderer left inadvertently. A second brisa states he is re-exiled. The answer, the first brisa expounds the double expression. The second applies the principle of Divrei Torah Kalashim B'nei Adam. The Torah speaks as people would speak. Abaya holds this is in our case because the murderer's law should not be more severe for leaving than for being exiled and not executed initially. The Gemara again reconciles two contradictory brises. One states the son may be a Goel Adam, and one prohibits it. The Gemara rejects Rav Yossi Haglili permitting the son because it is a mitzvah. Only a Macy's father can a son hit or curse because the Torah states lo sachmo v'lo sechase olav. The Gemara concludes it refers to a grandson not required to honor his grandfather to the extent he is required to honor his father. Now we move on to a new Mishnah. This Mishnah discusses the law of an exile found in a tree partly inside and outside the city. The definition of being in the city depends on the location of its branches. If the branches are inside, then even if the murderer is clinging to the trunk outside the city, he cannot be killed. However, if the branches are outside, even if he is clinging to the trunk inside, he may be killed. A question. A Mishnah in Ma'aseh Sheni discusses the law for one eating or redeeming Ma'aser Sheni while sitting in a tree partially inside and outside Jerusalem. The Mishnah rules the status of each part of the tree depends on its location. No part follows the other. Answer number 1. The Gemara answers the laws are not comparable. The law of Ma'aser Sheni depends on being in Jerusalem. The law of cities of refuge depends on living there. One can live in branches but not on the trunk. However, another Mishnah states regarding Ma'aser Sheni, the status of the tree follows its branches. Answer number 2. The ruling to determine its status by the branches is Rabbi Yehuda because concerning Ma'aser Sheni, the resulting law is a stringency. If the branches are inside the city, you could not redeem it perched on its trunk outside the city. If the branches were outside, he would not be permitted to eat the Ma'aser Sheni without redeeming it, even perched on the trunk inside. However, concerning killing a refugee, a leniency would result where the branches were outside the tchum. Even if he was perched on the trunk inside the tchum, the goel could kill him. Perhaps Rabbi Yehuda would not follow the branches. Answer number 3. Rava holds if the murderer is perched on the trunk inside the city, he may not be killed. If perched on branches outside, the goel can kill him with arrows or stones. They dispute entering the city to climb the trunk to the branches. Rabbi Yehuda permits entering the city to climb the tree and kill the murderer sitting in the branches outside the city. This leniency is not based on the trunk following the branches because he is not permitted to kill him when perched on the trunk. He is permitted to climb the trunk because it is subordinate to the branches. The Rabbanan who prohibit this do not hold the trunk as subordinate to the branches. If you're enjoying Daf 5, please click on the link below, subscribe and become a sponsor. Thank you.